If you ever felt like you're doing everything right, you're watching your calories, eating healthily, but you're still struggling to lose weight, your blood sugar levels might be the reason, but not in the way that you think. If you take a look on social media, most people fit into one of two extremes. Either they are blaming insulin and they believe that if your insulin is high, you cannot lose weight, or they think it's just calories, it's just the calorie deficit. But the truth, both of these extremes are wrong. So today I'm going to break down the real impact of blood sugar levels on your weight loss and why controlling it won't necessarily lead to effortless weight loss, but equally why ignoring it is a huge mistake. I'll also show you exactly how to balance your blood sugar levels whilst eating the foods you enjoy, the carbs, the pizza, the chocolate, and lose weight at the same time. Let's get into it. Do you really need to worry about blood sugar levels to lose weight? Some say insulin controls everything, and that if insulin is high, fat loss is impossible, whereas others say calories are all that matter. They say that blood sugar and insulin don't make a difference as long as you're in a calorie deficit at the end of the day. Calorie fucking deficit. But here's the truth. Your blood sugar levels won't directly dictate fat loss, but they absolutely impact how easy or how hard it is for you to stay in a calorie deficit. If your blood sugar level is constantly spiking and crashing, you're going to be hungrier, you're going to have cravings, and you're going to feel more fatigued. And this makes overeating almost inevitable. Who's resonating with this? Let me know in the comments if you feel like you crave food all the time and feel out of control with food. And recently, people have become obsessed with continuous glucose monitors, or CGMs. So there's an app called ZOE, which most people have heard of. And people are now thinking, this is it. This is the new exciting thing. This is the reason I've been overweight and struggling with my weight is because of my blood sugar levels. So all I need to do is to control my blood sugar levels and everything will be fine. But is that really the case? That's exactly what we're going to discuss today. So there are two opposing theories when it comes to fat loss. There is the insulin hypothesis, and they believe if insulin is high, you can't lose fat. It's the idea that if insulin is high, your body locks fat inside your fat cells and blocks fat burning. It comes from the low-carb keto world, and the logic goes something like this. Insulin is a storage hormone, and when insulin is up, fat burning is switched off. Carbs spike insulin, so eating carbs leads to more fat storage. Therefore, lower insulin equals more fat burning, meaning low-carb or keto diets are the key to weight loss. I'm going to be honest here. I did fall for this. I was low carb and keto for a good year right at the start of my personal training career. There were some benefits to it, but it had a fundamental impact on my relationship with food, and it took me a long time to get out the guilt mindset when I ate carbohydrates. So all this might sound logical, right? As long as I keep my insulin low, I'll lose fat. But here's where it falls apart. Studies show that people can lose weight on both high carb and low carb diets as long as they're in a calorie deficit. So you can eat carbs, spike insulin, and still lose fat if your calorie intake is low enough. And the reverse is also true. You can have low insulin levels and still gain weight because you're eating too many calories. So insulin doesn't block fat loss, but it's not completely wrong. We can't completely ignore it. If you are insulin resistant, if you have constantly fluctuating blood sugar levels, or if you are metabolically inflexible, this could cause a few problems. You're more likely to store fat around your organs, also known as visceral fat, which is the most dangerous type of fat. You're likely to feel hungry and crave food all the time. You'll often feel out of control with food, and you'll struggle with energy crashes. The mid-morning and mid-afternoon slump in energy levels just becomes normal. This is why blood sugar balance still matters, not because insulin prevents fat loss, but because it affects how your body regulates energy and hunger. And it can indirectly mean to more calories consumed because of the issues that I just listed. And then we have the calorie deficit argument. You've got people like James Smith just saying calorie fucking deficit, that's all you need. Eat less, move more. This is the mainstream weight loss argument, and it's really quite simple. Fat loss happens when you burn more calories than you consume. No matter what you eat, if you're in a calorie deficit, you'll lose weight. Blood sugar and insulin don't matter. Just eat less and move more. And to be honest, this is true to an extent. You cannot lose weight if you are not in a calorie deficit. And you can lose weight eating carbs, even processed carbs like donuts or ice cream, as long as you stay in a calorie deficit. And this is exactly how I help my clients enjoy their favorite foods and lose weight at the same time. So insulin spikes from carbs don't directly block fat loss. But again, here's where this argument falls apart. If your blood sugar is constantly spiking and crashing, it makes sticking to a calorie deficit 10 times harder. Not just that, although a calorie deficit is a simple concept, it's not exactly complicated. In practice, it can be really, really hard, especially for the type of client that I work with, which is women over 40 who have been dieting their entire lives. their hormones are changing, they've had children, their self-belief has been knocked, their relationship with food is all over the place, and it means staying in a calorie deficit consistently can be very challenging. So anyone listening to this who is looking for help with weight loss, be very careful when someone is trying to downplay how hard this can be. It is complicated, and it's ultimately why myself and my team have a job. Because if it was simple, no one would need us. So there's a problem with blood sugar obsession. So are CGMs and the ZOE app the answer? Recently, a lot of people have started CGMs or continuous glucose monitors, alongside them using apps like ZOE to track their blood sugar levels in real time. Let me know in the comments if you've tried the ZOE app or a CGM. The idea is, if I can keep my blood sugar stable, I'll lose weight. And yes, tracking your blood sugar can be insightful, but here's the problem. Blood sugar spikes don't directly cause fat gain. It's still about your total calorie intake. You can have a perfectly stable blood sugar and still overeat and gain weight. It's easy to get obsessed with avoiding blood sugar spikes, even from healthy foods like fruit, beans, or oats. But what actually matters is how your body handles those spikes over time, which brings us into metabolic flexibility. So what is metabolic flexibility? Metabolic flexibility means your body can easily switch between burning glucose from the food that you eat, but also from your stored glucose, which is known as glycogen, and body fat. If you're metabolically flexible, you're going to have stable energy levels throughout the day. You can go longer without eating, without feeling shaky, starving, or hangry. You're going to feel less hungry overall, and you're going to be able to tap into your stored fat reserves instead of relying on a constant stream of food. On the flip side, if you're metabolically inflexible, your body will crave sugar and carbs constantly. You're going to struggle to burn fat efficiently. You're also going to feel sluggish and tired when you go too long without eating. And it's likely to make weight loss very, very difficult because it's going to be almost impossible to stay in control of your calorie intake. There are long-term consequences to having chronically high blood sugar levels and being metabolically inflexible. If your blood sugar is chronically high due to insulin resistance, it can lead to increased fat storage, higher inflammation levels, a higher risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and cognitive decline, and many other problems. So while blood sugar spikes don't directly cause fat gain, chronically high blood sugar over time can lead to metabolic dysfunction and make weight loss harder. So what's the middle ground? What do you do with this information? So the objective with all my clients is to get them metabolically flexible so they have more control over their food, so they have less cravings, and so they're not feeling hungry all the time, but still eat their favorite foods, still incorporate carbohydrates, the pizza, the ice cream, the chocolate, or whatever they like. So I'm going to share with you some tips directly from my one-on-one coaching program. Let me know in the comments if you've ever heard of metabolic flexibility and how it relates to fat loss. So the first tip is to eat more at meal times. And this might sound completely counterintuitive, but what it means is you're going to feel full and satisfied and feel less hungry overall. And what we see is that when this happens, people naturally eat less and snack less. Next, prioritize protein and fiber at each meal. Most people don't eat nearly enough protein, and especially if they're trying to lose weight. If you double your protein intake, you are going to feel far less hungry and crave food less. But both protein and fiber also slow digestion, which prevent blood sugar spikes. One of the best things that you can do is to start your day with a high protein meal instead of a high carb meal. Once you're eating more at meal times and prioritizing protein and fiber, you're going to feel far less hungry, which leads into the next tip: stop fucking snacking. Snacking is a huge problem, but it's become normalized. In my lifetime, this has been a big shift. When I was young, snacking was frowned upon. You're going to ruin your appetite for your main meal. Now it's the societal norm. People eat 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times in a day. A study was done in 2023 on 20,000 people in the United States. Of those 20,000 people, 93% snacked. And those that did snack were eating anywhere from 400 to 600 calories. And most of them were trying to eat healthier and lose weight. So their meals weren't a problem. They were eating quality, nutritious meals, but they were sabotaging themselves by snacking. So when you eat more at meal times, prioritize protein and fiber. You should not need to snack. And if you feel like you do need to snack, it's going to be boredom, habit, routine, stress, procrastination, or emotional eating. And again, the less frequently you eat, the more stable your blood sugar levels will be. And finally, aim for 7,000 to 15,000 steps per day. Walking is a great way to regulate your blood sugar levels. Also, getting 15,000 steps in, you'll burn far more calories than a hard workout. And the best thing is, it's not going to raise your hunger levels or make you feel stiff and sore. It's also free and it's safe for people with injuries and who are very overweight. So, to summarize, blood sugar does matter, but not in the way that most people think. CGMs and blood sugar tracking can be useful, but they are not the key to weight loss. If a client asks me, should they get a CGM, the first thing that I say is do the basics consistently. Once you've done that for 6 months to a year, you've improved your relationship with food, you're not feeling hungry all the time, you're not craving food all the time, then you can start to dial into blood sugar levels and start to take it a layer deeper. The real goal is metabolic flexibility, teaching your body to burn both fat and glucose efficiently. In other words, get out of sugar burning mode and into fat burning mode. When you do this, you're going to be less hungry, feel more in control with food, and weight loss is going to be almost effortless. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you hit subscribe. Even better, share this with a friend that you think needs to hear it. And let me know in the comments what else you would like to learn about.